Hello and welcome back to another video of All About Cloud. Today's topic is cloud really expensive? And my target audience for today is anyone who thinks that $5, $10, $15 servers per month are better than cloud. And if they will move to cloud, they will be paying like few hundreds or thousands of dollars just because they will move to cloud. So well, that's not the case, and let's explore how cloud could be really cheap. It doesn't matter if you're a student, startup, enterprise, you have multiple production workloads or beyond. Let's explore what are some of the cost perspective items in cloud. First thing I'm going to discuss about cost in cloud is the pricing model. Pricing model in cloud is a utility pricing. Utility pricing is same as how you charge for your electricity. So if you pay for what you use, you will not commit for something which you're not going to use at all. The same concept applies to cloud as well. Most of the time, you're just going to pay for whatever service you're going to consume. If you're not consuming anything in the AWS console, in the AWS account, then your bill is going to be $0. Like, yeah, really $0. Even though you can spin up instances, servers, services of like $100,000 within few minutes. But if you're not doing that and you don't have any services which is going to cost you, your actual bill is going to be $0. So how can we see the pricing? Well, there's no hidden charges in the cloud world. So this is a sample for Lambda pricing, and you can access all the prices of all the services via this simple URL, aws.amazon.com/service name slash pricing. So I am on Lambda right now, but you can move to S3 just by changing this Lambda to S3, and you will get all the S3 pricing. Same goes with EC2, Fargate, etc., etc. And you will notice that these prices are not certain amount of dollars per month. They are based on the usage. So storage is GB per month. So it depends on how much storage you want to use. It's not like you are going to pay for 10 TB even though you are only using 1 GB. So it's every GB counts. This is called utility pricing. And its great thing about cloud is that if you're a small company, if you're a startup, well, you don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pay what you use. The next thing is free tier. And this is one of my favorites. Free tier is, well, the services you get for free. Some services in AWS are free for 12 months. And this is when you create your AWS account, you will get two EC2 instances or two servers, one for Linux, one for Windows for whole year for free. And then you get a free 5 GB S3 storage and multiple other things. You get RDS, which is the database service for free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Okay, and then there are some services which are actually free forever, which includes Lambda. So if you're using Lambda, which is another type of compute resource, you get 1 million requests for free forever for every month. This is not per year, per month, 1 million requests. And you get 25 GB of storage of DynamoDB every month. So if you're smart enough and you know how to, you can easily create your application using DynamoDB and Lambda. And if you're within these limits, well, you don't have to pay anything. You can get all these details from aws.amazon.com/free. Next is student program. And this is also amazing from learning perspective, from hands-on experiments, and rather than reading documentations or books, it's always helps if you can actually do some hands-on labs or practice or create something of your own. So every student can get up to $100 in credits, and you can access all the details at aws.amazon.com/education/aws educate. You need to have a .edu email address in order to avail this credit. And it doesn't matter if you're in school, high school, university, you can get these credits, and it's really easy, and I think everyone should go for it. Next is startup program. So this is for companies who are just starting up. Let's say if you have an idea which really uses cloud, then just connect with AWS via aws.amazon.com/activate, which is their startup program name, and you can get up to $100,000 in credits to AWS. The best part is you might not have to pay back all this amount to AWS, and this is like a free money. What you have to do in order to get this? Well, your idea should be viable. You have to pitch your idea to AWS. And if it's good enough, they will give you this credit. And what you have to do with this credit? Well, you just have to use AWS in order to get this credit. You are going to host your application somewhere. Why not on AWS? Since it's free, economy of scale. So this concept is that the more you use cloud, it's not going to be more expensive. It's going to be more cheaper. Yes, it's other way around. Let me give you an example. So if you use 1 GB on S3 and that takes you $1, and if you store 1000 GB or 10,000 GB on S3, it's not going to cost you $10,000. It's going to cost you less than that. And same goes as you scale further. So if you store, let's say, 100,000 GBs on S3 or more, it's not the cost does not scale linearly with the consumption of AWS services. So it's like economy of scale thing. It's cheaper if you use more. This is a fear most of people have, which who don't know about cloud, who don't know how cloud works. So if you're all in clouds, if you host everything, you deploy all your applications in cloud and you scale more, well, it's not going to cost more. Eventually, it's going to cost less. And that is the reason that if you have multiple products, if you have multiple AWS accounts, you should go for AWS organization or AWS master account and handle your billing from one account so that you get all the discount. You combine your bills from multiple AWS accounts and you can get discount on top of that single bill. The bigger the bill, the more amount, the more discounts you'll get. Reserve capacity. Well, this is a known thing that you can promise to use or reserve EC2 instances for 1 to 3 years, and this is a sort of a commitment to AWS. So if you commit that you need this particular server for 1 year and you are ready to pay for it upfront, then you can save up to 72% compared with on-demand pricing. So on-demand is like you spin up a server whenever you need one. That is slightly more costlier than if you know that you're going to use something for 1 year, you just reserve it. And it's going to be much more cheaper. One more thing in a similar context is saving plan. Saving plan is a recent thing in AWS, and this is something that you, instead of committing one server for 1 year, you commit dollars per hour. The problem with the reserved instances is that you reserve one type of EC2 instance and you have to keep that instance for the whole year. Savings plan is that I can opt for T type instances, but if let's say if it doesn't make sense, I can move to M type, R type, Z type, whatever. I'm only committing for dollars per hour. And once that dollars per hour is already consumed and you want to use more capacity, you need more server, you need more compute power, you can always scale your infra and the pricing will move to on-demand pricing. So do check out aws.amazon.com/savings plan. And it's something good if you know what you're doing. If you know your traffic, if you know your user behavior, then savings plan can really save you a lot of money. The other thing is spot instances. One of the most cheapest solutions to use AWS. So spot instances on the capacity which nobody is using, all the servers which are free, which the consumer like you and me are not using it. So all these servers are getting wasted. The resources are getting wasted. So what AWS does is that it gives it to the consumer, to end users via a bidding. So you bid for the instance, and if you're successful, well, you get the instance. The downside is that you will not know when that instance is going to terminate. But that's fine, right? Because it's so cheap that you don't rely 100% of your production infrastructure on spot instances. You have a mix of it. So divide your infra between spot instances versus, let's say, on-demand instances. So if the spot instances are terminated by AWS for whatever reasons, you still have some infrastructure which is up and running, and you can always scale further to on-demand. But spot instances, the benefit is the two benefits which I think by far the most. The one first is that it's automated. So you can use spot instances in an automated way. So you don't have to build manually every time you want to spin up an instance. Other thing is that it's 90% cheaper than on-demand instance. 90%, 90. So you're only going to pay about 10 something percent for the instance. And with the passage of time, spot instances are getting much better. They don't get terminated that easily if compared with, let's say, 5 years ago. Other most important and cost optimized solution out there is Lightsail. Lightsail is an easy to use, easy to configure service from AWS, which starts from $3.5 per month. Yes, it's only $3.50, and it's cheaper than most of the other unreliable monthly commitment based services. So these are all the operating systems you can spin up on Lightsail, which is Ubuntu, Debian, Windows Server, and all these applications, which could be like WordPress, Magento, Drupal, Ghost, Joomla, stacks such as Meme, LAMP, GitLab, Node.js, Django, which is Python. It only takes few clicks to create the Lightsail instance. And it's not one instance. You can have multiple of these instances behind a load balancer with a proper DNS server, with the automated database backups. And it's like a production server. The benefit is that you don't have to worry about data transfer rates, storage capacity, compute capacity. It's like a bundle. You purchase one bundle, you pay $3.5 for it. You want 10 bundles, you pay $35. That's it. It scales linearly. The cost scales linearly. And it's amazing if you just want to host like one-off application of your or a short-lived application, or you just want a WordPress blog, which is not that critical. Well, why not? Lightsail is amazing, and I host WordPress websites on it like all the time. Finally, why I think AWS is best in terms of cost is because of this no commitment thing. You don't commit anything when you use AWS, not in terms of services, not in terms of usage, not in terms. What does it mean? It means that if you use AWS for some services and you don't want to use other services, if you want to use servers, for instance, or if you want to use storage, sure, go ahead, do that. But if you don't want to use their DNS service, or if you don't want to use CDN, which is CloudFront, that's fine. You can always go for other solutions. I use Namecheap and GoDaddy for my DNS service, but for my servers and my storage, I always use AWS. And you can mix and match. AWS is not going to penalize you on this. And then the benefit is that there are some services which are always free if you use AWS. If you're in the AWS ecosystem, services like this code pipeline, code deploy, which is like CI/CD, DevOps services, these are always free. If you're deploying on AWS, Systems Manager or AWS Certificate Manager, which gives you TLS SSL certificates for your HTTPS secure websites for free. You don't have to pay anything for that. So after all these things, which includes no commitments, reserved instance, spot, savings plan, students, startup plans, light sale, and what's not, and if you still consider that cheap, unreliable, fixed cost, non-scalable monthly or yearly commitment servers are better than cloud, to comment why they're better. And maybe I'll try to understand why everybody who is not on cloud, where are they? Why are they not on cloud still? With that, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe the channel and have a good one.